It can feel quietly exhausting when you keep finding yourself explaining the same feelings over and over. You try to put things into words carefully. You clarify what you meant. You explain why something mattered to you. Maybe you even soften your tone, hoping it will help the other person understand. Yet somehow the message still feels lost somewhere along the way. So you explain it again, with more patience, more details, more effort to make your inner world easier to understand. After a while, the conversation starts to feel heavier than the situation itself. Not because the feeling is too big, but because carrying the explanation becomes tiring. When this happens often, explaining yourself can slowly start to feel like something else, less like sharing, and more like proving. Proving that your reaction makes sense, proving that your feelings are valid, proving that the moment affected you the way it did. And that quiet pressure can take a lot of emotional energy, because every explanation asks you to revisit the same feeling again, to open it up, describe it, and shape it into words someone else can understand. But emotions are rarely that simple. They're built from memories, experiences, and small moments that other people didn't see, which means even the clearest explanation might still miss the full picture. Not because you failed to explain it well, but because no one else lived inside that moment the way you did. Over time, this can create a subtle kind of fatigue, a feeling that your emotions only make sense after enough explanation, as if understanding must be earned through more words. But feelings don't actually work that way. They don't become more real just because they were explained perfectly. Sometimes what you're feeling simply deserves space, not translation. Space to exist without being analyzed or defended. Space to be felt without turning it into a long explanation. And allowing that space can be a quiet form of self-respect. It doesn't mean shutting people out. It simply means recognizing that not every feeling needs a full explanation to be valid. Some parts of your inner world are allowed to stay simple, and some experiences are allowed to belong to you without needing to be explained all the way. When you give yourself that permission, something small begins to shift. The pressure to constantly explain softens, and your energy can return to something more peaceful.